Oh man, I'm going to need a towel. I'm like dripping sweat. I'm like, dripping sweat now. Ugh,
Gee,
seriously.
I don't know why.
I'm like dripping. I'm nasty. Ugh,
So
I'm going to need a towel. A towel.
Oh my gosh. So as you guys know, William's been trying to get me to do one of his videos.
Who's William?
With him. William.
Who's William?
I think he's my husband. I signed a paper.
You mean Warrior?
Oh yes, Warrior.
You mean Warrior?
Yeah, he never
I don't know.
me.
I don't think anyone knows.
That's our life story.
I don't think anyone knows me by. Well, they know my name is Will. They know that, but yeah, they know me better.
I meant Warrior. Yeah, for sure.
Warrior.
So anyway, he finally convinces me, right, to do this video with him. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Oh, Billy. That's hilarious.
I guess I can't, wear my garden clothes because that would make you look bad if I was dirty. And then we'd have to explain why I was dirty, right? So anyway, we had to change the time twice, right?
This morning, yeah. We were going to do a normal live stream Wednesday mornings. And live stream Wednesday mornings. For sure, we were going to.
Morning. And then it was like, well, we have a kiddo. And by the way, babe, I need you to take her to work because I'm busy doing something right now.
Oh, yeah, that happened. Had to do that. But then I had to go to the store.
Oh, yes.
And I was going to the store already because I needed to get a birthday card for a nephew.
Very important.
That was the only reason why I wanted to go to the store, because I'm late to 2 birthdays. His birthday was on the 16th. What's today?
Yeah, that's
the
what
24th.
Kind of aunt and uncle we are.
So I was like,
Poor
I need
kids.
to. It's like 10 days late. By the time he gets it, it'll be 2 weeks late. I need to go to the store, and you're like, you got to take her to work. So can't you do that on the same trip? I'm like, sure. And then you're like, by the way, if you're going to the store anyway, can't you just get all the stuff at the store? And I'm like, sure.
Time efficiency, right?
So then there's this huge list. And so I start getting we should call Warrior Babe. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's great.
Love Muffin. He loves Love
Muffin.
Muffin.
My gosh. Oh no. This was not a good idea, you guys.
It wasn't. If he can be his full corny when, he's live, then.
Oh no.
And then you'll truly be like, oh, poor guy. Okay.
Oh no. This was not a good idea, you guys. Okay. So Revenator, what is up, brother? What is going on? Sharpster says, hi, how are you? Exo says, oh, Billy. You do know the story about Billy, so that's hilarious. Bassreich, hello there. Exo says we should start calling me babe. Please don't. That would not be good. Jacob John says, I just joined and I've never heard your name was Will. That's funny. Really passed over my head. Yeah, it has been dropped a few times. I talked with my boss about Warrior, and I only said Warrior because I didn't know your name. Greetings from Denmark. Yeah, Jacob, remember, I'm from Denmark too. That's actually where a great over 30% of my heritage is. We've done an Ancestry.com DNA test, and I'm from Denmark. That's a good chunk of my heritage. Andrew, my brother, what is up, brother? He says
really
hello.
Quick, so more on the his heritage thing or whatever. So we learned that it was that side of the world, and then about that time he was like, we need to watch this show. What
Vikings.
the heck is that called? Vikings, right? So I'm like, oh, this is the culture you came from? That explains a lot.
There we go.
Oh, my Viking man.
Yeah. Okay, Love Muffin. Oh, great. Now they're using your love words for me. This is awesome. Bass Reich says this is a great idea. So anyway,
anything else you want to know from my viewpoint?
Oh no. So I go to the store for a card for a 2-week-old, a nephew whose birthday is 2 weeks ago, and I get this huge list of what I need to get. I'm like getting 3M tape, and I'm getting lotion or what was it? The coconut oil. I don't know. There was stuff for sandwiches, but anyway, I get all of that stuff. There's this. I'm like, it's like a treasure hunt. I finally find everything, and I'm stressed out. I'm like, YouTube. So I'm like, finally, I check out and I get home, and I get here, and then you're like, oh yeah, there's someone else coming over to pick up a couple of chest of drawers. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
And
so
the
we're
drawers
outside.
are literally 10 feet from the recording room. So
yeah. And so we know they're going to be like, and it is 98 degrees outside right now, which is not horrific, but when you're moving furniture outside, it becomes, so I'm like profusely sweating because I literally just came from outside to in here. I am like, this room is like 10 degrees warmer than the rest of the house. So it's like
the lights. It's
over 80 degrees in here. It's the lights. Is that what she said? It may feel that way.
It's just part of being in the spotlight, you know?
Oh, I guess. I guess. But yes, Andrew, I will see you in a few days. I'm excited about that. Bassreich says this is a great idea. I'm regretting it a little bit already.
What is that?
And then Jacob did say that we talked about My Heritage a year and a half ago, so that's pretty awesome. Exo says, okay, Love Muffin.
Okay, hold on. I like this one. This one's my favorite. Mr. Butters says he's a hot muffin, LOL.
She got your name right, Mr. Butlers.
Stud muffin, you know.
I was calling him Mr. Butters, Mr. Butlers last week. For whatever reason, I switched it from Butters to Butlers last week. That was hilarious. I shall now call you Muffin. That's hilarious. So Bassreich says he's watching Vikings. He's on season 6. Great show. It is loosely based on reality. Very much so sad. Very much so sad. I was like, when it ended, I was like, oh man, I'm
too much fighting each other for sure.
Yeah. I was like, the infighting has to stop, but yeah. Ragnar is in my family tree. That is crazy. I'm curious. I mean, he did a lot of breeding, so who knows, maybe, because I have Norway in my family as well. So Warbringer, what is up, my Canadian brother? He says, what's up, William and his lovely wife? Hello. That was great. Is this your wife, Warrior? Onion Crisps asks. Onion Crisp, yes, this is my lovely bride of going on 18 years, and we dated for...
He's a good man. He remembers.
We dated for...
We always argue on this, whatever. Anyway, he assumed, okay, we're going to go into this.
Oh, no.
I've always wanted to tell this story.
Oh, no. This story is going south.
Okay, I was a single woman, okay?
Well, you better have been.
It was a single woman, you know,
the story's
doing
going
the scene. It was like 24, something like that. Best shape ever. Anyway, he thinks I'd always invite friends. I was like a huge, like, get everybody together, right? So I'd be like, oh, come over, or we're all going to meet up at the dance club, blah, blah, blah. And he assumes just because he was the one of the guys that got invited every night. And
every night. Did you hear that? Every night.
Almost every night.
Oh,
okay,
changing the story.
We were dating. And I had lots of friends.
Night.
There was lots of guys there that, you know how guys are. Anyway.
Oh,
so he says we were dating a lot before. It wasn't until his birthday. And I had to ask him, and I was like, so are we like dating exclusive at this point? He's like, well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were dating for like 4 months. And then I was like, saw her with a dude hanging out. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, hanging out. And I'm like, no, this is not okay. And she's like, why? And I'm like, we're dating. And she's like, no, we're not. And I'm like, yes, we are. And she's like, you've never asked me out. And I'm like, do you need me to say, do you want me to be my boyfriend, girlfriend? And she's like, yes, you have to do that. And I was like, oh.
I was a single woman living a crazy life.
So I'd been dating her in my mind for 4 months, and she was not dating me in her mind.
Otherwise, I would have treated him better, obviously.
Wow, I thought you were treating me all right. But
no, I would have treated you a lot better if we were dating.
Yep. So anyway, I always tell people we dated for like a couple, a year and a half, a couple of years. I round it up, and then she rounds it down from a year and a half to a year because half that year didn't really count. So yeah, crack that whip, Warbringer. Bassreich, oh shoot, girl.
This one here, Onion Crisps.
Onion Crisps.
Onion Crisps.
Do you remember your first date song? He's putting you on the spot. Your first date song. I remember.
Let's see what you think it is, because obviously these are weird
date
things.
Song.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it was?
Well, we don't even agree on the same first date. We're 4 months away from each other.
Okay, so sometime after that July.
That was a hellish first 4 months. I gotta say, most people date and they it's like,
oh, they're the best ever.
Oh, there's, what do they call that first period of time?
Honeymoon stage.
Oh yeah, the honeymoon stage of life. Like everybody's like, oh, well, so we both came out of previous relationships where I literally got cheated on. And
anyway, it was bad. It was really bad, both sides.
Yep, both sides. And then we met each other. And so it was like when we met each other, we were like, okay, we're not going to do this again with another person unless this person is right. So we're going to bring everything out. We're bringing religion out, politics out, personal interests
Fun
out.
dates, guys. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we're going to do it in public in front of all of our friends, and we're going to like make it World War III. I mean,
at my work, okay? Raising our voices. I don't cuss. I don't like chew people out in public. I would be at my work.
She does.
No, unless it's him. I would be yelling across the like black blank, yeah, blah, blah, and I hate you. You suck. Yeah.
Oh, it was bad. Good afternoon,
Honestly,
Matt
for
B.
me, yeah.
What is up, my brother with another Asian mother? What's up, Matt? He's part of the Asian Wife Club. He has a leather jacket.
Okay.
Yep.
What's up with light-skinned guys liking Asian women? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, but he's a part of that club. So
because we have Asian descent and the wives back then were very submissive does not by any means mean that American Asian is going to be that soft, gentle. Yes, honey, can I massage your back every night?
Awesome job on the VIP bracket scheme. Yeah. Oh, shoot, girl. Let's see. Crack that whip. Mr. and Mrs. Warrior, Matt B. Good afternoon. What's up, Warrior? Let's see. Onion Crisps. What did Ramon think of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes spending, and how did she feel about you leaving? You were happy I left, and the spending was, it was always it was always less than I made, so it was always worth it. So because income was always more than the expenditure, it was always seen as a cost. But I would tell you that I always, even now, say that was a misnomer, because investing was always a word I used in spending in the game, but I don't think that that's actually a fair assessment. I've said that before. You don't have to spend money on YouTube to do YouTube. I think it's a good excuse. I think a lot of us YouTubers use that in the past, where we would, let's say we'd make, I'm just throwing random numbers out there, guys, but let's just pretend we make $3,000 a month, and we'd say, oh, we're going to spend, $500 this month on the characters because we need them for the YouTube videos. And it's 20% of our income or whatever. So we can justify that for the expense. Well, you make $2,500 or whatever. So you say, yeah, that's expendable, but that's not actually, that's a falsity. That's a false narrative that a lot of YouTubers use to justify an addiction in spending. And I see a lot of current YouTubers, even current Star Wars Galaxy Heroes YouTubers, still using this to justify their addiction because it's just like in any career, when you're building a house, you're not spending your own money on the wood to build the home. You're spending the builders, the person who wants to build the home. It's in the bid for them. They're actually going to buy the wood themselves. It's part of the bid. It's not actually you. You're not going to invest your own money into the wood to build the home, unless you're building, like, let's say, a spec home. That's a different story. But so it's kind of a false analogy, a false dichotomy, if you will, that people use in YouTube. And I think it helps people feel better about their spending. And so sometimes people go into that.
Right. Well, and my thought too is, there's the time to make the videos, to edit the videos, go shopping and looking on Google and Amazon or whatever to try to figure out what the best thing is. So there's all that time. But then in addition to that, it's like the time that it plays to go in and do your battles. And then while you're in there, we all know, right? You're checking, you'll be like, oh, so-and-so that's in my league, he messaged me. And then we got talking about life, and his wife is having a new baby. And I'm just like, but it's one of his only hobbies too, and it's something that he's good at. So it's hard to find a balance, I think.
Yep, it's definitely difficult. Balance is difficult, but I would say that it's freeing to quit, because then there's that zero justification for it. But there was always a balance. You always have to have a balance, when you do that. And I think it can easily get out of whack. And I think there are people where it does get out of whack. I completely cut Capital Games off last October, and I said, if I spend nothing, I want to see how my emotional feelings towards the game go. And so last October, I did. I didn't even spend I didn't even buy like a $9.99 pack, like a $10 pack. And like I have it written into our budget. Like I get a little budget every week. I can spend on whatever I want. And if I want to spend it on the game, I can. Yeah. And so if I want to spend it on the game, I can, or I can save it up weekly and then buy a bigger pack throughout the month or whatever. And if I save it up, but I just cut them off in October. And by December, my desire to even play the game was literally just completely gone. And by January 2nd, I just was waking up and not even playing the game, forgetting to even do dailies. How do you do that? How do you even forget to play the game that you love? Like the desire was just completely gone.
Yeah, because it was normally just natural. Like you'd get up and still in your zombie state, right?
I got to use the restroom for a third time, honey. I'm sorry.
Just, this one battle. Are you talking to me? Huh? I don't know. I got to finish this. Hold on. One battle.
So Onion Crisp asks, do you ever miss it? Would you ever come back? I don't currently miss it. And the would you ever come back, it would really take a change in leadership at Capital Games for that to happen. And I just don't see that happening. Because structurally they're not sound and the game's really still got a lot of issues with the spaghetti programming and things as such. And I saw what they did to Darth Vader, and I'm super excited for all of you who are out there. That was kind of a huge gift for them to take a free-to-play friendly character that most everybody has and just tweak them and make them like upper echelon top 5. Like that is amazing. I'm super excited. That was a nice little gimme. So that was awesome.
So the other cool thing about that, so you asked if he'd ever pick it up again. Just from experience, the way he is, like he probably won't pick it up. He'll actually find the next game that is a challenge and that plays on his like strengths and skills as a gamer. And then I can totally see him restarting, the channel on this particular game, all that stuff. So
Warbringer, that is evil. Warbringer. He says, what about a change in leadership in Force Canada? Would you come back then? That's terrible. Why would you talk about Desirab like that? That is wrong, man. I'm gonna tattle on you and tell him that. Darth Skywalker, how are you able to leave the community? I've tried to quit, but the community keeps driving me back. Well, so Darth Skywalker, I haven't left the community. I still talk to you guys through Twitter. I still talk to you guys through other means. In fact, I'm talking literally to you guys now. All of you are still in the community, or most of you are from the Star Wars community. That's where you all came from, were the Star Wars community, and most of you still play the game. So I still intermingle and banter and am still involved with you guys in the community, but Twitter's where I see most of you, and I still chat and whatnot. But I will tell you, the community makes it very difficult to interact with, because once you leave, once you quit, when you try to interact, if your interaction is positive, they don't say anything. But if your interaction is deemed at all as potentially challenging or negative, everyone comes out of the woodwork to be like, shut your mouth, you don't play the game anymore, sit down. It's like, what, I can have a funny meme or a positive opinion, but if I have a negative opinion about Capital Games, which I have had for 4 years, and everyone in the community has, all of a sudden I get crucified. So it's like, okay.
Well, and
whatever.
everybody makes mistakes, so they should actually take that feedback and be like, oh, thanks for making us be better.
They don't. Yeah. No, Capital Games doesn't. So yeah, Mr. Butters is still playing the game, of course. Are you going to play the new Star Wars game? I'd have to see it. Yeah, know your role, warrior.
Yeah, he's just a leader.
says,
just,
know your role.
Accept it, right?
Yeah.
And he's talkative. Yep. Obviously, he likes to tell stories. So
no way. I don't tell stories.
And networking through the internet.
Yep. That's been a challenge. That's been a learning thing. So you've never done this before. You don't even know what's on these cards. Don't look at them.
Okay.
Don't look at them. These are going to be, so for the record, you've got, if it's worded poorly, you can kind of reword it a little bit, because some of these cards are a little edgy. Not in a bad way. So do we
go back and forth? How does this work?
Yeah, this is good.
Come on, give me some instruction here.
Yep, we will.
This is the first time I'm hearing it,
by
the way.
So for anybody that's out there, you know how it works more than likely, but if this is your first time, the way this works is we're going to read cards. She's going to ask me a question. I'm going to answer it, vice versa. But you at home, if you're watching live, this is the best part of the show. You get to interact live. You're going to answer the questions as well, and we get to read live time your answers to these questions. Pretty exciting. But if you're watching this after the fact, you still get to participate as you're watching these. You can write your questions down, or you could just type them in the comments down below, and I read each and every one of them and interact after the fact on this video as well. So very, very fun and exciting. So we're going to get started.
Really quick, Mr. Butter says, poor wife, the last round was dark. So I prepped him, and my one thing, well, actually, there's a couple. We don't talk politics when we're together.
Nope.
We don't debate religion.
Nope.
And we definitely don't share we don't do TMI, or he's in big trouble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We try not to anyway. But, yeah, last week went dark incidentally. It accidentally happened. We didn't mean for it to fall into that route, but it did. It fell into a chipper shredder and some other stuff. These questions go.
What does it say? My favorite Star Wars character is
What's your favorite
Han
Star Wars
Solo.
character? Why Han Solo? Interesting.
know.
You know what? That was one of mine. So that's funny. That
I'm
is
just
interesting.
drawn to his manly character. That's all.
His like
if I was going to date one of the guys, it wouldn't be Darth Vader.
his
it wouldn't
rebellious
be Luke.
nature.
I think Luke is a whiny baby, honestly.
Yes, so do I.
So it makes me sad. It's like, yeah, you did some cool stuff, but you whine the whole time. So, yeah, that's my thought.
Yes.
We've obviously seriously never talked about this because I'm like, Star Wars again.
Yeah, I love Han Solo.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Huh. I thought it was Darth Vader.
No, that's Annabelle's.
Oh, geez.
She loves Darth Vader.
Yeah, our youngest loves Darth Vader. We got her everything Darth shirts,
Mugs.
Star Wars socks.
She's totally into that. All right. So the way this works is we're going to do paper, rock, scissors. Whoever wins gets to go first. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Oh, what the heck was that?
I don't know with the scissors.
You gotta do it the same hand. It's on 3.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I have to be an adult, and so I don't get to play rock, paper, scissors like apparently you do. So I always joke about Warrior.
You gotta do this above. You gotta let them see how you.
Okay, I will. Oh shoot, I can't even remember what I was gonna say now.
Let's do it up here. Come on. Let's see.
Okay, fine. He's made. So this was my thing. I was gonna say. Warrior is my biggest kid, and thankfully he comes with benefits and he brings home the bacon. So
That's
that
true.
was like, okay, I'm gonna try this.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, go ahead and cut me, you little bastard.
You were totally like that. You played that one. Okay, I got to go first. I got to read the first question.
All right.
Okay, let's do this.
And you give your opinion first?
Yeah,
That's the way it goes?
no, I'll read it to you. You give me your opinion
I
first.
give the opinion.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't tell me how this.
Well, I'll answer it.
Normally when we play, he's like, let's get the rules out.
No,
okay.
no.
Everybody listen to the rules.
Yeah, they do call me
Law dog.
Yeah, law dog at the house because I play by the rules. Like, you got to play by the rules. I'm sorry. You've got to play by the rules, period.
Or the table's going to get flipped. Not that bad, but.
Not really, but cheating isn't allowed, and you play by the rules, period. That's just how it works. So, okay. These are all debate the internet questions, okay, guys? Debate the internet questions, and for the 3% of you females, gals, it's debate the internet time.
Girlios.
Yeah, there's 97% gentlemen, 3% females that watch this channel.
Oh, well, I guess that's good. Then I'll have a less chance of offending a
Female?
lady than a man.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh.
Okay, question for you. Could you beat Tom Cruise in a fight?
Could I beat Tom Cruise in a fight?
Now, before you answer, I want you to remember back when you were in your prime.
Mm-hmm. So I already know what the answer is. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
So I would definitely be completely defenseless because back in the day, I thought he was the most handsome, charming, romantic, hot stud muffin ever. Okay. So I would just be like, oh, Tom, whatever you want.
That's a horrible question.
Yeah. So I wouldn't even try to fight him.
Oh, that's terrible. That's not the answer. Could you beat him if you had to fight him mano a mano?
I don't know. I'd have to measure his muscles.
He's a small guy. He's actually a small guy.
Okay, then I would choke him out. I would come across as a helpless woman that was like scared and timid, right? And then the second I got to put him in a chokehold, he'd be out and he wouldn't even know what the heck hit him. So that's how I would do it.
So yeah, he's like 165, 5'10" for the most of his life. And when he's not doing stunts in movies, he's actually, for the most part, not in shape. He gets in shape for certain movies, but he's not like super in shape all the time. And he's a small dude. He's like I said, 165, 170, 5'10". I've seen you roll dudes.
It's my weight.
6 foot, 200 pounds in grappling.
Yeah, that was like after a few or more drinks.
And when you were a little bit younger, yeah. But that's my point.
Pit.
That's my point.
I think rocks, it was really poorly built. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah, risky business Tom Cruise or am I Tom Cruise? That's hilarious. But can you see?
I'm bad with dates, so it would be whichever one was done first. And actually, do you know how awkward that would be to be like, I mean, you'd obviously have to touch him, right?
Yeah.
And to be a woman and be like, at one point, you're going to be wrestling his core.
He just
Good Lord.
cut Annabelle's neck.
Okay. So he just cut Annabelle's neck?
Yep.
He wouldn't even get a chance. And after he was dead, after he was passed out from the chokehold, I'm sorry, but Annabelle's our youngest daughter. And if he hurt her, I wouldn't even care what the ramifications would be as far as law. I would pass him out, kill him, make sure it was slow, and I would torture him. Every limb just twisting and breaking. He would be begging to be killed. Okay? That's the one area where I lose it. You screw with my husband or my kids.
Can you beat Tom Cruise in a fight? The answer for her is yes. The answer for me is yes.
You hesitated.
I have a lot of experience in jiu-jitsu, Kempo karate. I did it both when I was in the military. I did it prior to military. I did it post-military. I did it when I was in law enforcement. I have judo in me. I know how to do throws. I know how to do locks. I've studied for a long time. I mean, man.
Yeah, you'd definitely be able to.
Yeah. So, and the guy, I'm 6 foot 250. 6 foot 250. He's 5'10", 170.
And you're really, really quick too.
And I'm in bad shape right now, but when I was in my prime, I was 6 foot 200 and I was rip roaring. I used to grapple in jiu-jitsu. I used to grapple with guys that were 240 and in really good shape, like 6'2", 6'4", 240, 250. These guys were heavyweights. And I'd grapple with them at 8th Street Gym. We'd grapple and I had no problem submitting these guys. And these guys were significantly larger than me. Right. And he has learned a lot over his life, but there's a difference. A lot of people don't get this. There's a difference between Hollywood stuntmen and Hollywood performance and actual real fighting technique. And for the record, when I was law enforcement, our grappling techniques involve things like groin strikes, neck strikes, pass out techniques, like to the neck where you pop them, one side knocks them out, things like that they don't teach other people because you've got to just disable people. So things like that. So let's see, questions though. Matt B says, yes, he could beat him. Only need to call him a short guy to get him angry. Chip says, risky business, Tom Cruise or am I Tom Cruise? Either one. He's by this time in his age though, he's probably got a lot of experience and knowledge, but he's probably also got a lot of injuries as well. But what have you seen? Onion Crisp, have you seen what he can do in MI? That's hilarious. RSG Vormax, what's up, brother? I'm late as usual. Who is your guest? This is my lovely wife of 18 years. Mama Bear. Yes, thank you for answering that. Greyjoy style. Let's see. She's going to shred him to pieces, Bass Reich says.
All you got to do is ask the questions, guys.
Yep.
And then I have permission.
Yep. Let's see. Chip Copeland says, but he has Xenu on his side. Xenu, is that how you say it? Yeah.
Or is it Xena? Did you mean Xena?
No, Xenu. Yeah, because
I think he meant Xena, like the princess warrior, Amazon warrior. No,
Xenu. It's for his religion.
Oh, okay.
Chip Copeland just found out that my Krav Maga dojo is closing at the end of the month. Oh man, that stinks. Krav Maga is good stuff. A Scientology thing, yeah. It's his religion, yeah. Scientology.
He's the one that's good at like technical words and stuff. I'm just like,
what's he gonna do? Bite your kneecaps? I'll come over here and bite your kneecaps. Looking good. What's up, Sure Shot? What is going on? Sure Shot's off. That's why Connie's on. She's
it finally
filling
happened.
in. Yeah, Sure Shot.
But he's gonna owe me a big favor, so
Yeah, that's fine. Or does that involve being in the garden in the 100-degree weather?
That would be a good idea, but I was thinking something else.
Anything.
No, not that.
Shouldn't have said anything. All right, your turn. You get to pick a question. Pick a question.
Okay, so the question I already peeked.
And that, by the way, this went dark immediately, and it wasn't my fault. Well, it was my fault.
Dark.
I said that he hurt. I said he hurt.
There was no
You said
death?
you were going to
Oh, I guess there was death.
torture him until he died. But I did say he hurt Annabelle. So that was my fault. That was genuine.
If it was somebody else, whatever, cuff him, enable him, wait till the cops came. You mess with the husband of the kids or my brother. Family. And
the
closer to me and the worse it will be, and it will be slow.
Mama bear. Yeah, that's true.
I think he would go do it fast. But anyway, okay, so question. If you could only watch one actor's movies for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Oh, you know what? As much as I absolutely hate his politics, and I just wish that actors just stayed in their lane, but of course they're people, they get to have their opinions. I get it. I would watch Jim Carrey stuff, man. He's got some interesting stuff, like what's the 25 door or whatever, 23rd door or third door. I don't remember what the heck that movie was, but it was good. It was an interesting.
Yes, I was using my phone. Sure shot.
Yeah.
It's too hard to say. So yeah.
Yeah, but Jim Carrey, because that makes
sense.
Yeah, I've loved him since he first came out in sketch comedy, back in the 80s.
Yeah. So this is gonna be fun, guys.
In Living Color, I've been watching him since in Living Color, and then it went into movies, Liar Liar and all those.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, yeah, of course.
So this is funny. Has Warrior ever done his impersonation of Ace Ventura for you guys? I want to know. If you want to see his impersonation of
I have done
Ace
it in
Ventura,
the past.
Okay, well, it's worth repeating. It is. Then just ask in the comments. And
hey, Ball and Thug wants to know what your YouTube handle is. Oh, and you know what? It says, "What's up, Warrior and Damon O?" I must have forgot to change the subsection of our thing. Oh my gosh, yeah. I forgot to change the title. I'll have to change the title later.
Gotcha.
That's hilarious.
So let's see. What was the question again?
What's your handle? What's your YouTube handle?
We'll just say this again.
If you were playing games, yeah. When you play video games, what's your name?
So it's not really games. I'm more of like a gardener, and so it would be like and I've thought about it. It's just somebody won't show me how to use the camcorder. Anyway,
whatever.
Have you ever tried to show me how? The answer is no. Anyway, so I tried to do one video of this is how the best way to start your seedlings, and this is the dirt you use and all that stuff. Thank you, Annabelle.
Oh, yeah.
I had my daughter bring me some water because she's a rock star.
Rock star.
I normally don't talk this much, so I hate being in front of cameras. I hate anything where
I'll take some of
people are looking. Oh, no, this is mine. All right, you get one sip. Just don't slurp in the mic, okay? So anyway, that would be more my thing, not games. That's his gift, is to teach and, make the most of it and figure out how to be really freaking awesome. That's just what he does.
Onion Crisp says Daniel Day-Lewis, pretty awesome. Mr. Butters says Harrison Ford. Ball and Thug says Leonardo DiCaprio. Matt B also says Harrison Ford. Wow, we got a couple for Harrison Ford. Oh, number 23, that was the movie. Thank you, Dave. Sure Shot says Jim Carrey. We got 2 for Jim Carrey. Darth Skywalker says Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Very cool. Call says Liam Neeson. Good choice.
Matt B. I like that one. Ha ha. I know the tone, Connie. My wife uses it.
Oh, yeah. Warrior, you should teach her to use the camcorder.
Yes,
I know.
He should. My friends literally have told me I'm a part of this plant group that's a really nerdy plant group where we obsessively buy plants.
She should have a YouTube channel doing plants. She sells hundreds of dollars worth of plant cuttings a month as a hobby on the side. And she could easily do how to do these plant cuttings and stuff, little videos, and then put them on YouTube. And she'd go crazy.
Yeah. There's ways. Anyway,
there's a girl that does it that has thousands and thousands of views. She's from our town, and her videos suck. And she's from our town.
I hate to say it. She seems really impersonal. She's more worried about how she's got to be in the.
Oh, look at me! She's always done up and done did, yeah. Instead of the plants, which people care about the plants.
Exactly. Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable staring at your new makeup or, ooh, she got her nails done. So anyway, it just doesn't work. And I know that I could make it work. I had friends that were like, when are you going to put it up last year? And then they kind of were like, she's not going to do it.
Well, it would involve
A lot of work.
It would involve ultimately, a lot of work because I just hardly even have time to do this, let alone
It'd
someone
probably
else.
be 5 hours of training. Obviously, you don't have to do it all in the same time, but and then I would catch on and like add my own spin to it because we're different. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know how to record the stuff. You've got some stuff recorded on there right now. It's just need to put it onto the computer and
I don't know anything about the lighting.
editing.
There's so much like little details to make it right, but that would take like half hour. Anyway.
All right. And then Harrison Ford. Let's see, Bassreich said Harrison Ford so you could watch Star Wars over and over. Yeah, there you go. Not too shabby.
Nobody wanted to hear the Ace Ventura.
Do it. Do it. Did you guys see the Twitter post that I did of the kid that has the lightsaber towards his face, and then it cuts to Emperor Palpatine saying, do it, and then it cuts back to the kid and he pushes the button and it's like it's spring loaded and it hits him in the mouth. If you don't follow me on Twitter, go follow me on Twitter and watch that like video. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Green Thumb. Ballin' Thug says your name should be Green Thumb, but I mean, I don't know. That's okay. Yeah, XO says that was funny. It was funny. That was hilarious. Okay, so one actor. You didn't answer it. What one actor would you? They answered. I answered. What one actor would you watch? A movie, other movies of one actor. You can only get one actor in your life to watch.
I honestly don't know. I'm not very good at remembering the names of actors. I don't know. I would rather just be an ordinary person. Is that bad?
That is true. I'm always like, do you remember that one movie with so-and-so? And she's like, the what? The
Yeah, so we watch it again. And I love TV. It's not that the movies aren't good. I like the character that they play in the movie. I have no desire to live their life.
Yeah. I'm like, man, Morgan Freeman's great. And she's like, woohoo?
Yeah, he's a good actor, for sure. I mean, it might be cool to play his roles.
But remembering who they are. Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
Denzel Washington's good. That's a good pick.
We watch a lot of Denzel Washington.
That's funny. My brother Andrew said he'd pick the stunt guy so he could just watch all the movies because the stunt guy is going to be in all of them. Okay, good question. I got a good question.
Belated happy birthday, Andrew Cox.
Yeah, happy birthday, brother.
His birthday was the first week in June.
Yep, he was a junior. George Washington. Okay.
His hair was outdated big time, though.
Yeah, it looked like carpet.
Sweaty, disgusting.
Debate the internet. Question number 2. Okay. All right. Who is the ugliest celebrity that you'd be willing to date?
Oh, like if we weren't married, obviously.
Yeah, we're not married because that's not going to happen. I'd be killing fools.
I don't know.
But who's a celebrity you'd be willing to date, but it's like the ugliest you're willing to go? Like Justin Timberlake?
They'd have to, I don't know. Like, see, I don't even flip the magazine, so I don't even know like if they're all buff right now or anything. I'll describe him. He would be like a sensitive man who is like totally into my emotions. He would have dark hair.
Dang it.
Like a tan complexion or whatever, and just be like, yeah.
Oh, dang it.
He'd like work on the car with his muscle shirt.
Oh, 3 strikes, I'm out.
This is the one I want.
Ball and Thug, thank you for the donation he put for Annabelle's college fund. That is very, very sweet. In fact, she actually wants to work and do, vet tech. She wants to be a vet tech, so that's pretty cool.
She loves animals.
She does. She loves animals.
And she's good. She's got that technique for sure.
She's trying to convince us to get a female
Rottweiler
puppy. Female Rottweiler puppy right now.
We have a 10-year-old dog who is completely insecure, and if you leave him without either another animal or a person for longer than 30 minutes, he gets all anxious and soak peas something of ours. Like disgusting. I've wanted to hurt him so bad, but
unless he's outside, and then if he's outside, he can just soak peas some
wherever.
Bush or something, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. What's the ugliest celebrity you would date?
Well, I already said it. He wouldn't be ugly.
Hey, so what was that lady that we just watched that she didn't even look like herself? What was it? What was her name? Megan something?
Dang it. I don't know. Megan Trainor. I feel like I saw it on there, but I don't even know if that's a real actress.
That is a person, but no, that's not who it was.
The name of the movie?
Oh, man. I can't even remember. Yeah.
Shoot.
This is going to
drive me crazy.
I know.
What was the movie? I'll look it up.
Josh Gad. That's hilarious. Luna Lovegood from Harry
Reckoning?
Potter, whatever.
No,
her
it wasn't
name is.
Reckoning.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
The Reckoning,
Is that
maybe?
what it was? I'll look it up.
The Reckoning? I think that's what it was called. Get her a game of Operation instead.
Boo, boo.
All right. The ugliest celebrity you would date. Celebrity. I'd have a hard time because most celebrities and I wouldn't see eye to eye. And so I wouldn't want to date most of them. And I'd have a hard time because you still, when you want to date somebody, you still have to want to be able to like look at their face and be like, you know what? Okay. So what's that chick's name that,
It's not that movie.
No, it's not.
We've been.
I am so bad with recall memory right now because of the migraine medicine. Yeah, the Topamax migraine medicine I'm on right now. It like kills my recall memory.
I like it though. It gives me a smile because I'm like,
because
remember something.
Knocks me down a notch. I can't remember anything in the moment.
And then I get to be his savior, like when he's trying to have a conversation.
I'm like, I can't freaking remember this, and she's like,
he needs me.
Yeah, that's great, Catherine. Yeah, I don't know. Who's the ugliest celebrity you would date? I would pick Kathy Ireland because at this point she is way over the hill. Way over the hill, and she has had too many surgeries now, and she does not look good anymore. So she's not so good, but whatever. I'm just picking someone. That's a bad question for me because my recall memory is bad. I can think of like 6 people, like the one girl from the movie Megan, whatever, and she's had so much plastic surgery. She looks horrible. And I was like, that looks like an actor who looks like a girl that's actually a good actress. And
right,
you were
a
like,
lookalike.
Yeah, and you were like, that's her. I was like, oh my gosh, she looks horrible.
She had like way too much like in here. It totally changed.
Botox.
Yeah, and this was all like big. It was bad. Like she should get it redone or
she looked like the Elephant Woman.
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, maybe in her defense, maybe she just had it done, and so she was swollen. I have no idea how plastic.
It wasn't Meg
works.
Ryan. It was a different Megan, and I honestly, I was just like, I was saddened by it because she's a really like down to earth kind of actress where you see her in a movie and you're like, oh, she's like my mom, you know, kind of thing. But she's attractive, or she was. But they ruined it. Seth Rogen. Oh, would you date Seth Rogen?
So,
like,
oh my gosh.
with
I
his
have
hair.
a totally funny story. So we used to go to UFC fights in Las Vegas all the time. And so I was like trying.
I wonder if we talked about that anytime recently, maybe last week. Oh, she wasn't here for that. She doesn't watch my live streams either, by the way.
No, I don't. The only one I started to watch, my one rule is like he's never allowed to talk about me. Like where we live, like he can say what I like, but I don't. Yeah, anyway. And so I like turned it on and it was like, so my wife, and I was like, oh, he's dead meat. Yeah. So anyway, what was the question again? Oh, so Seth Rogen. So anyway, we were like, I was trying to memorize these guys' names so we could take pictures and stuff, and which was really awesome, by the way. And so Seth Rogen, I said something like, I was like, hi, can I take a picture with you, Bruce Buffer, something like that. And he was so offended. He was just like, I'm Seth Rogen.
No.
Yes, don't you remember?
It was Joe Rogan.
Okay, well, whatever the heck.
Seth Rogen is a different dude. Joe Rogan. And now, yes. Okay, so this is the deal.
Oh, my favorite.
You guys know Joe
UFC
Rogan.
fighter.
Joe Rogan is super famous. And even back then, he was super famous. And he was trying to get to have a steak dinner. Same last name, different dude, totally different dude. Anyway, yes, you were right. So she tried to get a picture with Joe Rogan. He was in a hurry. He was a bit of a douche that night. I like Joe Rogan.
I deserved it, though.
I totally gave him a pass for being a jerk that night. Yeah, Joe Rogan's awesome. I wanted a picture. I didn't ask, though. She did. He said no. He blew right by us because he was in a hurry to get his steak dinner. Joe Rogan. That was Joe Rogan.
Who would be my
he was
favorite?
Bald. That's Joe Rogan.
Who would
Not
you say
Seth
would
Rogen.
be my
Seth Rogen's
favorite
totally
UFC fighter?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Did you hear me?
What?
Which UFC fighter do you think would be my favorite?
Which UFC fighter?
We took a lot of pictures with a lot of the fighters. It was so freaking awesome.
I don't know. There's a lot of them.
Roger Huerta.
Roger Huerta. Oh yeah, the one that he got his tattoo after.
Oh yeah. Our friend Damon got a tattoo after this.
He told that story last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
We actually showed the picture of the tattoo on the live stream. Because you Google
nice.
it, Roger
Except
Huerta
for-
tattoo, and it comes up with Damon's picture.
Damon's very light complected, and Roger Huerta is a very golden brown.
That's hilarious. Miss Warrior, how do you feel about Poison Ivy as your handle?
Ooh,
Poison Ivy.
yeah,
That's
remember,
a pretty good
I have
one.
the costume for that. So anyway,
Poison Ivy? There you go.
It was for
That's a good
the Christmas parade this last year, and my friend was like, "Can you come walk and help us with the float?" And so it was superheroes or something like that. I don't know what the theme was. And so I made a makeshift Poison Ivy costume. And so I work in a school, and all the kids that were like, I'm handing out coffee or whatever, they're like, Miss C, oh my God.
Miss C. You know what? Miss C works good.
Yeah.
Miss C would work too.
No, that's like boring.
Poison
Ivy I like for sure.
Sweet.
I do.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Let's switch to a new question.
Yeah, I
that
do
one
like
sucks.
that. Nice job.
Let's move to the next one. All right.
Sucks. Okay,
do
it
it.
says if you had to choose one meat to eat for the rest of your life, what would you pick? Let me think first. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, chicken. I'm sorry.
Chicken.
It's just too universal. I
Kind of chicken.
I mean, I can eat chicken
What's
all
your
day.
favorite piece of chicken?
I don't know why. I just don't get cravings for beef. I don't. I can eat beef. I like
I
beef.
love beef.
Yeah, I love beef. Matt B says beef. That's awesome. I don't know why, but and I know I'm not talking about
good
like
steak.
the nasty chicken that you get from like Walmart. I'm talking about like fresh chicken that you like raise. Like when we used to raise chicken and kill it ourselves and eat it.
I killed it. He didn't kill it.
I've killed chicken at our house.
whatever.
Stop it. I've killed it. I've even helped
Maybe
you.
like 5.
So what?
In
You were
17
more
years.
available. I was working.
Oh,
Just because I didn't kill a ton of them. But yeah, lots of beef. Okay, so beef,
traumatized our
beef,
son
steak,
instead.
chicken, healthy and versatile. Yeah, Darth Skywalker, exactly. Chicken is low fat, high protein. I'm lazy. We've talked about this, right? When it comes to meat, if I have to like trim a lot of fat off and get all the bone out and all this, it's just a lot of work. There's like chicken have these huge breasts. I'm like a breast guy, I guess. I can just. Warrior just kills dogs.
let me guess the dog story.
Yeah, they know about
Anyway,
that story.
yeah.
Yeah. Plow, plow. Anyway, yep. No, I don't eat dog, but I would if I had to. But chicken is my choice. It's versatile.
You'd eat rabbit before you would dog, though.
Yeah.
For sure. We've had a pet rabbit, too.
Yeah, but I wouldn't eat my pet rabbit.
If you were hungry, it's
Well,
very low
yeah.
in fat.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
just
guess.
saying.
But chicken. And you would, what, beef? You do a cow.
I would do a T-bone steak that was marinated and tenderized with caramelized mushroom and onion over it.
Yeah, but it's just generalized
We haven't had Texas
meat.
Roadhouse in
By
forever.
the way, the picture has a cow on it, a pig, so pork, that would be interesting. Chicken, which is common. They also have a monkey. So monkey, then nobody
Monkey.
chose.
What
Nobody
country
chose
was those?
monkey. Well, you know what?
Jiminy.
That's a popular one in some areas. So maybe, I guess, I don't know.
It's like killing a human.
Fish. Nobody chose fish. So ball and
yeah.
thug, that's true. Coastal, you could do fish, but fish now have all of it. All fish have a percentage of mercury in them now. All
It's
fish.
all the pollution and stuff. It's sad.
Mercury. I know. The mercury.
I love the ocean when it's clean.
Which is never, ever again. So,
Yeah.
wah. Anybody else? We got a lot of beef out there. I'm going to Texas Roadhouse tomorrow. Yes. The irony. We go to Texas Roadhouse because she loves it and she loves her steak.
But
I
he
go there and
loves-
I get chicken.
He gets like the fried chicken steak with the
Chicken fried chicken.
Yeah, he gets the country gravy like smothered all over the mashed potatoes, and then he asks and he says, "Can you bring me an extra cup of gravy?" I mean, he loves his Texas.
I'm like, can you bring me a side of heart attack, please? Could I please get that? Oh my gosh, this is a horrible picture. I'm glad I got this one. This is the third question for me. If you had to eat one human body part, what would it be?
It would depend on whose body are we talking about here.
It could be a male or a female, your choice.
Well, depending on age, right? Do you want to eat the 20-year-old or do you want to eat an 85-year-old? I mean,
Okay. We'll say it's a 30-year-old male and a 30-year-old female that recently just died within the last hour, and you get to choose from the male body or the female body lying there dead. They just died, and you're starving. They died simultaneously less than an hour ago, and you get to choose to eat something from those 2 dead bodies, what do you select and from whom?
So I'm going to assume that they're fairly
Look
like...
at the picture.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, actually those are probably the things you would eat. But anyway, that's what I was just going to say. I was like, say they were both like 30, same sort of body structure. Okay.
Let it call.
I would definitely say female. I feel like they would make a tender roast. And I feel like
What would you take?
I would take the woman that was the same age, and I said it's because she would have more tender in like her
Than the
dishes,
man.
like her roast and stuff, and
The rump?
yeah, the
you'd
rump
cut the
roast,
butt of the woman.
and because there would probably the meat would be more tender. The things I think through my head, right?
Yeah. So the tender rear end
And
of
the
a woman.
fatness, like the extra, like
Juices, the meat, the fat.
right, and stuff would like add flavor. But that's how I think because I'm a cook, and I like to cook, so it really wouldn't matter if it was a human or a pork loin.
Darth Skywalker says deltoid lean, high protein. Matt B says, I'm going to
Yeah, definitely
say I'm
warrior.
a breast guy. Yep. So I'm like high protein, low fat. I would go to the dude because I'd get the largest slab of meat available. And then
It would be dry.
not the way I would prepare it. I would get to prepare it.
How would you prepare it?
And then I'd probably go quad. Yep. And then I would have to beat the hell out of it with one of those mallets, really, really good, and get it
Third
all.
degree assault, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Because that's one of the toughest meats because there's so much usage out of that. And it would be a guy, so you'd probably have a lot of running involved in that.
Well, then where it connects in the knee, it's going to be all like
No, I would cut it
sinewy.
shy of that.
So you would cut those.
Yep. I mean, the butt's probably the best, or a backstrap.
It depends.
Either a backstrap or a butt would be the best for flavor. And no fat, no taste, but that's not necessarily true. It depends on what you're looking at flavor-wise. And we've never had human before. I haven't, so I don't know.
Am I a chef too?
She cooks real good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do is have people over.
Yeah, real good. Real good.
I would say, so I would do this thing when I was younger.
This is why I'm picking the wrong pieces of meat, you guys. And she's picking the right ones.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
I'd have to pick the butt then, because there's a lot of fat and then there's meat under that.
So anyway,
How
I would
cheeky.
work at some of the restaurants that I was like, I liked a specific dish or whatever, and I wanted to learn how to make it. So you cannot like write down the recipes. So I would work myself up within a couple weeks from dishwasher, right? And then they'd be like, you would be an amazing prep cook, be my prep cook. And then I would be like the fill-in chef, right? And so I would memorize how to make these, and now I make them. So
for the Italian place that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then your mom is Chinese,
Well,
and she
true.
taught you all of the family Chinese dishes, like our egg rolls that Mobile Gamer has had. Mobile Gamer visited, and you made family egg rolls.
yeah.
The family history of egg rolls. You've made those for Mobile Gamer. He got to enjoy those. We made a video on our channel on that. That was actually hilarious.
Yeah, I guess you did, huh?
Yeah. He ate those on. He came and visited, hung out with us, but then I made a video of him eating them. I don't know why. I just thought it was funny, but
Yeah.
because he was like, I was
You
like, hold on.
You like pictures of food too
I was
much.
like, record this. I don't know why, but anyway, it was a funny video. So, yeah, the meat doesn't have fat. It's going to get dry and tasteless. I don't know. I'm not a cook. She is. I'm not even a baker really, but I could bake better than I could
He
cook.
could. So let's just say he's perfectly capable of cooking because he can do YouTube and he's just smart and he knows how to follow directions to a T, which I do not. I ad lib stuff all the time. Yeah. So he could, if he wanted, he would be an excellent, but he does a ton of stuff. So he doesn't have to know how to do everything.
Exactly.
He does good at the things that he needs to.
Yeah.
My turn to ask a question.
Hold on. So anybody else have any other sections of the body they would choose in male or female? What did you say? You said the buttocks probably. I'm just going to go with your
The
answer
butt
because
and
I think
the
you're.
breast area.
Yeah, the breasts are just pure fat though. That's gross.
Yes,
I don't
but
want
the
to eat
meat
just pure
underneath
fat.
would be the most tender.
The chest,
and
you wouldn't have
flavorful.
much chest meat in there. But a guy
It's
who
the
maybe
muscle
got some
underneath.
like
See, he doesn't
female, like guys sometimes overage, like if they were like a 45-year-old
It
guy,
would be
they
way too
probably have
tough.
some like fat because of age, and then underneath they'd still have their like chest muscles from back in the day. So that would probably be pretty good.
Not on a guy. It would be so like fibrous. Disgusting.
Gross.
Unless you had a guy that like never worked out a day of his life, then you'd be all right.
Legs would be gross because like I have a lot of muscle on my leg, but
Yeah, but somebody with a small calf, you'd starve to death.
yeah, and my huge
saying.
calves are
All right, we're going all dark
too
again.
muscle. Yeah.
Let's see.
But not from a fitness guy. Exactly, Jacob.
Yes.
Yeah. Too much muscle. All right.
Okay.
You're up. Question
I'm
number
up?
3.
All right. Would you switch lives with Tim Tebow if you still had to follow his rules about booze, sex, and going to church?
Yes. But I wouldn't want to switch my life anyway because I love everything about my life, so I wouldn't switch. But Tim Tebow is a man of conviction, and I would absolutely be willing to switch my life with a man of conviction because I'm a man of conviction. So I would not hesitate 1 minute if there was something like, hey, you have to switch lives with him for a while. Could you do it? Of course I could. He's a man of conviction, and I'm a man of conviction. But I just find it ironic, not to be too political, but a few years back, he kneeled one game because of his religious conviction, and he like took major heat, got suspended, and all these things happened. It was like, oh my gosh, religious liberty, you can't have that, blah, 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 blah. And now, fast forward like 9 years later, and it's like, it's the in thing, and everybody's like, he was so ahead of the time, it's not even funny. So like it's either okay or it's not. And if it is, then why was it not okay for him? So he did it for his own personal conviction back then. And everybody's okay with it now, apparently. Well, not everyone, but
I'm not sure what his stance on booze is.
Well, he's fine with it. He just doesn't personally drink alcohol.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, something to think about is, he may have a family member that's an alcoholic. He may have struggled with alcoholism in the past. And so that's him making an intentional choice to be the best man that he can be. So if that's his reasoning, like that should say a lot about his character.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a man of conviction. He follows his conviction to the T. And there's not a lot of people that do. There are a lot of people compromise themselves all the time. They make multiple, compromises daily, and he doesn't. At least that we're aware of. He stands for what he believes, and I think that's noble. I think that's great.
Well, and I think he does his very best. Like, nobody's perfect, so he may screw it up. You may find some video where he screws it up, but I think he's not worried about, he's not trying to preach and like being like, you need to believe this way, you need to believe this way. He's
proselytizing.
Because like when you're being judgmental like that, like nobody wants a part of that. Nobody. That's like, anyway. So he just does his best to taking advantage that people are watching him because of his, fame in the past. He's modeling that example.
Modeling behavior. Yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important. So how about you guys? Would you switch with Tim Tebow? I know only one answered. Darth Skywalker said, yeah, you do it because, you follow those rules and then some. Some people wouldn't, I think, because obviously some people wouldn't want to give up booze. His rules for sex are that you should be married because he believes in, being married first and then, marriage and sex. Marriages or sex is for, married people kind of thing. He believes in traditional,
he's not trying to create soul ties with a bunch of ladies.
Right. He doesn't believe in sex before marriage kind of thing. And then he believes that, he's a Christian. So he believes in going to church and stuff like that. So he just believes in going to church and not having sex before marriage. And then he doesn't drink personally. He's not against alcohol at all. And anyone can do it. He just doesn't drink it himself because he doesn't see a value in it for himself. And I do that sometimes. There's times when I'm somewhere and someone offers me a drink and I'm like, let's see, I'm going to drive home in 30 minutes. I could have one, but I can only have one. And they only have so many for the people here. If I drink it, nobody else gets it. So it's kind of a moot point So I'll just leave it for other people to benefit from it. So I might as well just not have it, and then they can benefit. Why would I waste it and drink it when it's not going to do anything for me and it's going to benefit them? So that whole thing goes through my mind, and I go, nah, no thanks, man. It's good. And they're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, no worries. Because I'm just going to drink it and waste it, and somebody else would benefit from having that evening. So
yeah, I think I do it more of like a eating thing. So if it's like beer tastes really good with like Mexican food, in my opinion.
And
pizza,
yeah.
Barbecue, and then like if I'm eating like pasta or something like lighter, like a chicken Caesar salad or something like that, wine sounds really good. If it's after dinner, it's definitely a hard drink on the rocks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So some people would not, but that's the question, right? And I think I would if I had to, but my ultimate answer to that is no, I don't need to, because I wouldn't, and I wouldn't switch, not because I don't like him being a man of conviction and following his own convictions, but I wouldn't because I don't want to be Tim Tebow. I don't need to be some famous dude that is doing his thing. I've got my thing, and I'm happily doing my thing. I'm happy in exactly what I'm doing, and I wouldn't need or want to be doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
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 I'm like totally. I always tell people
it's like a heart of gratitude.
Yeah, well,
content with where you are.
Yeah, content. I'm content. There's a lot of people discontent. Super discontent. I'm super content.
Which is crazy, because then you're just wasting all these like opportunities in between, like wherever your goal is, to like make memories and enjoy life all of those days too.
Yeah.
There's some days that just suck, and you like, I don't know, like scrape up the back of your Avalanche, as you're bringing home a buddy's like 4-wheeler, and then like bending the back.
Sure shot.
It's
Poor
like,
sure shot. That's a story.
Like, I can't walk on their property. They suck and they jinx me.
Yeah, that happened to Sure Shot.
Yeah.
That's a story time for him to tell. Poor guy.
I know, right?
Poor guy. All right, another debate the internet question. This is a good one. I'm interested to hear about this one from you. How much?
We still love you, Sure Shot. It's okay.
Yeah. How much money would it take for you, Poison Ivy?
Okay, we're gonna go with this
to
one.
streak. Yep. On the field at an NFL game.
Oh,
so
wow.
So once a year normally.
Would be there, so like during.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So normally once a
game,
year, we haven't done it in a while, but normally once a year we go to the Broncos
for like our anniversary.
Yeah,
month,
once a year we go to a Broncos game. So we go, and someone says, I'm going to pay you X dollars. You just need to take all your clothes off and run across the field. You're going to get kicked out, and Warrior will be waiting
all
for
of
you.
My clothes.
Yep, all of them.
This is a horrible
strip
question.
down. You get to keep your shoes on.
Out?
No.
Oh, you're going to be so dead,
No,
buddy.
no,
We're having to talk later.
No, they're in this box, and we just pick them.
Money?
I'm answering it too. Yeah, how much money would it take for you to do it? And you know what? You can have some beer, and you get to keep your shoes and socks on, but everything else is off. And you got to run. And you know what? It'll be published on national TV, but they'll put those little boxes over you.
Probably be on there. Oh, yeah, they'd have to, which would cover up a lot.
Oh, man.
Gosh.
Darth Skywalker says $5 million for him. $5 million. That's a solid number.
Wow. I was going to say $3 million and like two brand new cars, whatever we wanted, loaded, hopped up.
You'd have to buy it with the money. So how much money? $3 million?
Yeah, but no, because then if they added in the money, then I have to get taxes taken off of that,
so
right?
You better start doing your analysis.
Okay, so, and then...
Because 40% for taxes at a minimum. So basically half of the money will be gone due to taxes. So he's getting $2.5 million after taxes.
Actually, you know what I'd rather do? You can buy the skin-colored, undergarments or whatever.
Nope, you got to do it
when
nude.
You're running really fast, it would look like you were naked.
You're cheating.
Damn it.
You got to... How much money would it take for you to streak on the field nude at an NFL game?
Let's do $8 million. $8 million.
Zevius says $1 million after taxes.
$1 million. I don't know, man.
Andreas?
You couldn't even buy a nice house on the beach and cars and stuff.
Andreas says he would do it for a beer and a hot dog.
Oh my God. What kind of beer though? That's what I want to know. Like cheap, like
IPA.
Natty Light, or
10% IPA. Matt B says $5 million. He's in agreement with Darth Skywalker, and since he's Canadian, he'd file a WB and get the entire amount. Bazreich says $11 million after taxes.
That's a lot.
You know what? I would do it for $1 million after taxes. That's my bottom line. That's my bottom. And this is why, after taxes. So it'd have to be like 2 mil, like 1.8 million, and then take like 800,000 for taxes. So 1.8 mil, they take my taxes and I get it. This is what I do. I'd streak, they'd kick me out. I'd never be able to go back, which would suck, but that's okay. I don't really watch NFL anymore anyway. I miss most of the games because of work. So I'd get the money. I'd stick the mil in a savings account, and then I would just live off the interest. And I would never have to work again by choice at a job like where I work, but I get to choose what I'd want to do. And then I get to voluntarily go work where I want to work, which would be volunteerism. And I get to do things like build homes and volunteer and help out and things as such. And I could just live off the interest.
So we wouldn't ever take out unless there was like death emergency kind of thing out of the big one. You'd spend the interest only.
Yeah.
Like accrue it until you found, like, say you wanted to buy a boat.
Listen, you get $3,000 to $10,000 a month in interest alone.
Yeah, you could do a lot with that.
And then if you were doing things and you found that, I mean, you would be debt free too already. So like we're already basically debt free. So hold on. All you Americans pay 50% at that highest level. Yes. Yeah, if you're a millionaire, you're paying 40% of your income, 48% at the highest level. There are times when one of my checks is like super amazing and I get hammered after taxes and benefits 50% on some of my highest end paychecks. So yes, Zevious, me and Warrior, financial independence. My same thought. I'd change career to be a teacher. Exactly. But then you could do what you wanted. And if I chose a career path that I wanted to do, even if they paid me, they're like, well, for you to be a coach at high school and you could be a coach and make a difference, but we can only pay you $30,000 a year. I'd be like, so what? I'm not doing it for the paycheck. In fact, I wouldn't even care.
You enjoy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't care about the pay and bennies and all that, but I could do it. And it would be one of those jobs I'd enjoy. Plus, I could have time to volunteer and do all those other things I'd want to do. So it would just be to set myself up with a forever. And then when I died, there would be a forever nest egg that would be divided. And then each child would have a forever nest egg that could be put into savings that they couldn't touch, that basically they could live off of the savings as well, which would be kind of cool as well. Zevious, I'd give more moolah to my favorite YouTubers. Oh, that would be cool. That'd be awesome.
Then I could buy a beach house.
You could give me $4. $4 donation.
Hey, I was going for big money here.
Yeah. Yep. No, I would just $1 million is all I would need to strip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, probably only about 5 shots and he'd do it.
Oh man. No, to streak, because that's public and everyone would see it and there would be a lot of people there and that would be a forever on your record thing. So people would be like, you did that. You went streaking. And I'd say, yeah, it's not my proudest time. I'm not really pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get, I don't want
bad rep.
Yeah, I don't want. No. I don't want to get greedy. I mean, if I did it for like 100,000, that would be pointless. That would be gone.
Good Lord.
That's like, that's really not that much. Honestly, in America, that would be gone pretty quickly, and that would be like, why did you do that for that amount?
And you're always in the spotlight, so he would forever.
I could break a leg or have a heart attack, and that'd be gone in medical bills, and you're like, oh, okay, well that was fun.
Google Super Cop, Grand Junction.
Yeah, you'd have to go to Daily Sentinel. And they've heard that story anyway. But you have to go to Daily Sentinel.
Well, not everybody watches every single one, despite what you think.
No, I know.
He's like, you guys haven't watched like 3 of them?
Yeah, they've heard the stories probably, though. So does the average American, Jacob's asking, does the average American pay around 40% in taxes? The average is really difficult to say because that's generalizing, but the average American pays 28% in taxes, so almost 30%. And then we pay another 28% in taxes and another 12% in benefits. So the average American has 40% of their income gone with benefits and taxes. That's the average American. Some less, some more, but that's the average. So when you do taxes and benefits, once you take that away, what's left is on the average is 60% of what you've earned. So, and then if you're a person of faith and you do anything such as a Christian tithing, you lose another 10% ish. So you could be living off of 50% of what you actually earn. That's my life. So you live off of 50% of what you earn. So, yep, it's like that. Andreas, 40% to no healthcare. Didn't know that. No, that's with healthcare. That would be with paying for your healthcare through your business. Streaking could get you more TV deals. You could get Tasha.
Don't encourage him.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that would be with your benefits. Benefits are paid through your employer and your employer. That would be with my healthcare, and my healthcare is good. It's not bad. Most healthcare is decent, and if you don't have good healthcare and you're on like what a lot of people don't know is in like state of Colorado, if you don't have healthcare, you get put on the state of Colorado healthcare, and everything's free. Which
Are
is
they still doing that?
Oh yeah.
No, we pay out the wazoo.
Yeah, we do pay out the wazoo. Because I make good money, they rape me. Yes. And then we pay for every visit and everything. It's like, if you make good money, you pay out the wazoo, but
they're like, oh, and you still owe $200 for something we don't even know.
Yeah. But for if you don't make a lot of money and you can't afford it, then you do get free healthcare. So there's a ton of people on free healthcare, but, so a lot of people are like, oh, there's people that are uninsured. Most of the people in America that are uninsured are actually uninsured by choice. That is actually a fact, because if you're not making a certain amount of money, you can insure yourself through your employer. And if your employer is not offering it, you can go through the exchanges and get it. And it's a percentage of your income. And then if you're not making a certain amount of money, you can get it for free through the government. A friend of mine right now is self-employed, does not make very good money, and he gets completely free health insurance through the state. So, and he's an adult single male, which is like worst case scenario. He's even a white single male. So it's not even like it doesn't even have to do with race. It's just, he's a white single male, does not make good money, and he's got free health care. So it's not as bad as people say it is. There's a misnomer. A lot of people, though, don't want to pay for it because it's expensive, so they choose not to, or they do private like savings accounts and stuff like that to basically pay for stuff when stuff happens. So anyway, all right, next question. Let's do it. You're up.
All right. It says, what cheese would you choose if you could only have one for the rest of your life? He loves cheese, by the way. Everything cheesy.
I don't know. That's difficult. I do love lots of cheese. I mean, I love my Swiss, my provolone, my pepper jack, mozzarella. I love it all, but if I had to choose one, I'd probably do provolone. I'd probably do provolone.
I need to buy some of that for you. You're the only one that likes it anyway. Very flavorless, but...
Not good provolone if you buy the quality stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It's good for like if you have
don't
like
get
a
it in
really yummy,
Walmart,
flavorful burger with like sauce on it, then you still get the cheese factor, but it's like mild.
I like steak with provolone, shredded steak with provolone and melted.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We should do that. Saute some mushrooms.
Yes. Yep.
You'd have to go to the store again, though.
Munster mozzarella. Havarti's good. Mozzarella. Yeah, mozzarella's good. Actually.
And you like cream cheese.
Oh, no. The queso. That one blend cheese that you have.
Yeah, it's like a queso blend. It's really melty.
Oh my gosh, that's
my favorite. To
it's only in America do we call cheese. Mexican cheese, we call it queso cheese when that's cheese. Like stupid because that's what it means. Queso means cheese, but anyway, we know what they mean. But in Walmart they have a cheese that's a specific kind of cheese that is shredded, and it's used in a lot of Mexican dishes. And instead of calling it by the type of cheese that it is, they call it queso cheese, and it's shredded. And instead of calling it like by the type, they just call it queso cheese. And so to get it, you have to go to Walmart, find the shredded cheese, and buy the queso cheese, which literally means cheese, which is dumb. But anyway, that cheese is my straight up favorite cheese ever.
I agree.
That is so good.
It's really good,
and I don't even know what kind it is
enchiladas.
Because they don't even call it by its actual name. They call it cheese.
It has a different ratio of like the different kinds of cheese that's in there. So it's a different ratio than the Mexican style blend thing.
Yeah.
It's perfect though.
Yeah, Zevius says he might get some winces and frowns, but he loves American cheese. And you can get American cheese in white and orange and yellow. I mean, there's different kinds of American cheese, so that's a good
Chai
spread.
means tea?
Chai tea, so we're just saying TT. That's freaking hilarious, Zevius. I that's the same thing. I know.
Love chai tea.
Yeah, but it's like saying TT. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Now I want some great things a lot.
Matt B says you're right, Zevius. It is. It's funny. We do that sometimes. There's certain things that are said twice over in culture because they use the word in the other culture and then they replicate it in America by saying it a second time. Like chai. That just chai is, you could just say chai and that means tea.
What language is that, the chai, that it means tea?
Chai isn't that Chinese, chai?
I don't know.
I think chai is just Chinese for tea.
My mom never taught us Chinese.
Yeah, Matt B, chai is Chinese for tea. See? Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
My gosh, you're Chinese, baby.
Yeah, I am. My mom has a 100% Chinese, like full-blooded Chinese sister in China somewhere. We've never met her.
Yeah. Yeah, you have family in China and you've never met them. That's actually really sad.
Grandpa was from China.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish we had more of that heritage link that we could go and visit and all of that. Mm-hmm. That would be awesome. But maybe someday that will happen. There's always time, right? Mm-hmm. There's always time. Okay,
we always used to say we wanted to adopt a little girl from China.
Yeah.
I think I'm done with kids, but who knows what the plan is, right? Just got to go with it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I think we've moved past the diaper stage.
I like my freedom.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm off to a different country. Bye.
So queso cheese or mozzarella, what'd you say?
For me?
Yeah.
The queso, probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Queso
or
blanco.
Cheddar has a lot of flavor, but yeah, the queso.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry now. I'm like chicken enchiladas with green chili sauce and queso cheese.
That sounds so good. What are we having for dinner?
I didn't eat lunch. That's what the problem is.
Oh, man.
Somebody bring me lunch.
Oh, I have the burnt ends with mac and cheese from last night. I can warm up.
I think I got to look and see if Dylan ate my leftovers. Anyway, yeah.
If he didn't, you have that. You have your leftovers.
Yeah.
Your mac and cheese. That will be good. Okay, last questions, and then we do story time.
No, we're not sidetracked by food.
Yeah.
Okay,
no, we were always. All right. Last question for you. How much money, there's another how much money question.
What's up with that?
I know. Would it take for you to verbally belittle a small person in front of a crowd of 100 people?
Nothing. Wouldn't.
So they use the word midget, but a small person.
Yeah, so I couldn't. I have a...
How much money would it take for you to do it? To belittle some short person?
I couldn't.
You couldn't?
I would want to like off myself afterwards. That's how bad it would be.
Really? You couldn't belittle some
not
a
for
midget?
a trillion, Jillian.
Okay, I'm going to take the answer that my brother would take.
Which is what?
Oh, man, my brother's amazing. If Andrew's still on here, I'm going to guess what he would say. He is a genius. I would say that I'm going to take $2 million and then I would give the money to the midget after I was done belittling him and explain to him that
or if you were friends, then it would obviously be
that I did it simply for the benefit of the midget.
So you both could get some cash.
I would give it all for him, and I would tell him I did it to raise awareness about how this is a terrible situation, that people are willing to stand around, that there are 100 people willing to stand around and allow for a belittling to occur on someone just simply because of their height.
Shame on them.
And it's shame on them, and that I want to raise awareness, and I'd take the couple $1 million and I'd give it to the guy, and I'd ask that he take $1 million of it for himself, and then the other $1 million I would want to go towards a new fund for public bullying awareness and
for midgets.
Actually, just general public awareness for bullying in general. Yeah, but obviously he would have a stake in that and want to help bring awareness to midgets and other people that get bullied. Because I was bullied as a child, you know that.
Yeah.
Bad. And so I would actually flip the script like Andrew. Boom, cheers. Andrew says, yeah. So, and that's Andrew got this the other day. We had a question like this and everyone was like wincing because it was a bad question. But I would do it. And then after it was done, I would actually take the money and I would give him some money for it happening, because that would be
That'd be hard to take.
It would be a scar. He'd forever have an emotional scar, and I'd want him to have some money for that. And then I would give him the rest of the money that I would want him to use to do raising awareness for bullying. And I'd want to help him.
I think we should do, like, obviously, like he would give me input in it. And I would say keep it strictly to like special needs, something that has like a physical bullying and they have a physical disability, and keep it to that, because that's a whole different level of sometimes just physical, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you work with developmental disabilities too. So, I mean, you can empathize with that.
Special needs.
Special needs. Mm-hmm. Developmental disabilities are what I used.
Yeah.
I was in,
growing up, that was the proper thing to say, and now
we said retarded back then. And
that was the rude way of saying it. The polite way.
That's the rude way now. Back then, that was actually the clinical term.
Yeah.
But now they don't use that as a clinical term. Now that's actually the rude way. Mm-hmm. Now it's developmental disabilities, but you actually have done away with even that.
In the school, they're not allowed to say that. They have to say special needs. You say anything else other than that, and you're most likely going to get written up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's really politically correct.
I had to relearn the proper word.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, I dropped a card.
Yep, you dropped your card. So Andrew says cheers. Matt B says his wife's 5 foot. So is my wife.
5 foot too.
Look at this. Like, sit up. Oh. Yep,
they used to at school. They used to tell our oldest daughter that she was a midget, and then because she's like right at 5. And
she's short though. She is.
One of her teachers like really liked her, so he nicknamed her. What was it?
Fun size.
Oh, fun size, like a candy bar.
Fun size.
Yeah, the fun size or whatever. And so that like spread like wildfire. And then she was like, yeah.
Yeah, then
it became a good.
That became her nickname, Fun Size.
Like,
and everybody loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I tease you about your height a lot, but
it doesn't bother me though.
No, it's just a joke. It's kind of like Matt. Matt does that. Zevia says Andrew's still scoring points from a few streams ago. Of course, because that was genius. Take the money and selflessly give. That's awesome. Matt B says, short jokes. The few small people I know, pretty good sense of humor about it. Ray Rock says, hello, everybody. ZVS, Warriors bullying for no money. Yeah, I do. I bully her for no money. I know. Can you believe it? I'm so selfless on my streams, but in real life,
usually when I'm like not even awake and I'm, baby, just give me 10 minutes, just like not right now. And he's like, ooh, yeah. And I'm just like, I really want to love you right now, but right now I asked for space and you're in my space.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like, I do. And I laugh at this cute little yeah, just like that. He's such a turkey.
Ray Rock says he's vertically challenged as well at only 5'6".
That's not bad though. 5'6". Well, I guess
for
I'm
a
super
dude.
short, so yeah. Yeah, you're right.
For a dude, that's kind of short. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Exo says that explains a lot. Warrior is special needs. Yes, she is very good with special needs
We're
people.
Not supposed to tell him.
That is why she's my wife. How do you think she could handle this for 18 years, man? There's no way unless she could handle special needs people.
We grant each other a ton of grace.
Yep.
I annoy the crud out of him, I guarantee, and he does too. I told my daughter actually last week, she asked, and I said, the good times and the memories and the laughing is way beyond any of the times that we're like, bah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, last card, and then we'll go into story time.
Because I'm sure you guys know how much he loves story time by now.
I love me some story time. I see, Warrior, do you play anything at the moment on your phone? Yes, I do. And you know about it.
I don't remember what it's called, but I am aware about it. He says that
Disc
he
Golf
doesn't
Rival.
hardly play it that often, but yeah, it's almost to that point.
Disc Golf Rival.
What is that sound it makes at the end? It's so obnoxious.
When it throws the disc, because it has a disc catcher that like throws the disc.
It's a weird little funky thing, and I can always hear it. It's really annoying. Anyway.
And then she's like, "Good shot."
Yes, when it does that, and I'm like, ah.
And I say, "Great Scott." When she says, "Great shot," I'm all, "Good Scott." I'll get the popcorn popping. Yep. Conference call in 30. All right, Andrew, we'll get it done.
We could make marshmallow popcorn balls that are drizzled in white chocolate and caramel when you come, Andrew. If you want, just
that
saying.
Sounds good. All right, last question, and we'll do story times so we can get everybody going. Wow. Dad joke.
If you only had $5 to get drunk, what would you buy?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, look, the picture is like
Clorox.
a bottle of bleach.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so the only way to do that really would be they have these little, at every liquor store they have these little $1 shooters, and they're hard liquor. They're hard liquor, but they're small.
They were more than $1, no?
No, liquor stores all have them. They're the crappiest,
I
nastiest, most disgusting, worst.
They're not. You have to buy the right ones.
No, but they're $1. They'll have them in like a little plastic bottle or a little plastic tub.
A shooter.
And they're like dollar shooters. And a lot of times they'll have like a nasty vodka, or they'll have like a nasty rum, or they'll have like a just disgusting scotch. But it's not even scotch, it's whiskey. They'll just have like a whiskey in there that's like a dollar shooter. I would just buy 5 whiskey shooters, 5 $1 whiskey shooters, and I would just slam all 5 whiskey shooters as fast as possible.
Very interesting. So they had...
I mean, that's the only way. There's no way. $5? There's no way.
I have a really great drink recipe, okay? So you take, what are those, 12-ounce glasses?
You got $5, baby.
All right. Yeah, this is $5.
Okay.
So you put...
I'm ready.
You put like a... Okay.
Fermented juice, Ray Rock.
No.
Moonshine, Matt B. Ooh, moonshine. $5
so
of moonshine.
You put your cubes of ice cube, right? Put your ice cubes in this tall glass, and then you're going to put like one of your shooters that's a... oh my gosh, a rum. And then you're going to put one that is like a fruit flavored shooter. Like, so they've got like 99 bananas, or they've got watermelon something or other. And then you add, you should be able to buy a can of Sprite. And then you can get a shooter if there's any flavored, like, anyway, 2 different flavors. So sometimes if they had like a flavored shooter of flavored brandy, oh man, it's all liquor except for just like a tiny bit of Sprite. It's so good. That's my kick lately.
All right. Mm-hmm. So
Jacob
said cheapest vodka. I got Matt B with moonshine. Ugh. Ray Rock says fermented juice. 2 Steel Reserve. Ray Rock's got it right though. A 40-ounce Colt 45 or a Mickey's.
Is that less than $5?
Yeah, you can get it for like $2.
That's like old school, like high school.
$2.49 or 2 for $5. You could actually get 2 40s. 40s for $5. Yeah, 2 40s. Slam those 2 40s. That's actually a great idea.
Speaking of a 40,
you just have to piss a lot. I wouldn't want to do that.
And Mickey's reminds me of high school, right? I got to tell you this quick little thing. So anyway, we were really naughty. My parents were on their anniversary in Hawaii.
Naughty.
And somebody kind of put out flyers for a party at the house. We lived in the country, and we had a big like shed that we could play music in. And I had to be like super strict. Everybody had to pick up their cigarettes, right? Although it was obvious, you could hear the music for like 2 miles. So, it was obvious. One of my friends thought it was funny to put a Mickey's bottle with the cap just above the ground in one of my mother's houseplants. Okay. Yeah, we found that after my mom got home.
That's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Ostentatious says apple pie. That's Everclear, apple cider, and an apple juice. Interesting. Defunct says $5 could get you hammered in our country. Really cheap wine or even beer. Wow. Interesting. Milwaukee's best for $5, Zevia says.
What?
Yeah. Matt B says combat juice in Canada. We call that combat juice in Canada. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. Defunct also says, oh yeah, and cheap vodka. That'll work. IBC. No, people have been trying to get drunk for cheap since liquor existed. That is true. That is true. Yep. Okay, well, it's about time. We're going to do our story time, and then after story time, we're going to let you guys get out of here. Gals as well, if you're in there. But story time comes by way of, I think a lot of you know that I did purchase just recently a 50th anniversary of Camaro SS. And if you haven't, you can...
White with red racing stripes.
Yeah, 50th anniversary Camaro SS.
The thing has AC in the chairs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But what a lot of people don't know is why I bought it. and kind of the backstory as to why I bought it. Because, you know, I mean, it's a cool car and all that or whatever, but, you know, like, why that? Why not? So a lot of you guys looked on Twitter and stuff, and I was looking at a couple of different cars, and a bunch of you gave me suggestions and stuff. But I ultimately decided that car, and there was deeper meaning to that vehicle as to why I chose that vehicle. And so it actually goes back in time 20 years, because it actually goes back in time to 77. It actually goes back.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it goes back 40 plus years. And so what happened? It goes back a long time.
Camaro's just kind of run as a family car that they all love.
Yep. Yes, I did. So what we did was, my mom, that was the first car I ever had growing up. I mean, she owned it when I was born. She had a 79 Camaro, basically. I was, a couple of years old when she had it. So, I mean, the first memories I ever had were in a Camaro. And growing up, we had in a Camaro, there's 2 bucket seats in the front, 2 bucket seats in the back. And if you've ever been in a Camaro in the back seat, there's a hump in the back. Well, my mom had 3 kids. And traditionally there was 4 of us, so 4 seats, but sometimes there was a 5th person. There just almost always was a friend or someone with us. And so inevitably somebody had to sit in the back seat in the middle on that hump. Well, there was not even a seatbelt or anything. So somebody had to fight to see, who had to sit on the hump. So that was like a thing. But anyway, we grew up, and
thankfully everybody lived through that.
Yeah. Well, I was back in the, early 80s and stuff when we drove in that when I was a little kid and stuff. So, but anyway, that being raised, driven around in a, Camaro Z28 and everything was really impressionable. And so when I became a teenager and became an adult and wanted to start driving and whatnot, one of the cars I bought was I bought multiple Camaros, but my second Camaro that I owned was a 97. It was a 30th anniversary Camaro, and then I invested a ton of money into it. It was naturally aspirated still.
How old were you when you bought it? Do you remember? I was trying to think, like 22 or 23.
77 to 87 to 97, 20, basically.
Yeah.
I was basically 20 years old.
It was a nice car, too.
Yeah, and then we met, a couple years later after that, so about 24.
It was a T-top convertible, wasn't it?
Yeah. So 23, 24 when you saw it, but it was a 30th anniversary.
And yes, he owned it outright.
Yeah, of course. And I owned that 30th anniversary, and then I had it tricked out, and I actually had in Louisiana, they had a special, what we call a ZR28 kit, and I had the entire ZR28 kit on it, which was a racing kit. It was still naturally aspirated, but it was exceptionally fast. And so it was modified, tricked out, everything from the intake to the exhaust and everything that could be, from ported intakes to cold air, the cold air intake kit, ported intake. The heads were ported. I had new headers on it. Jedi Knight Luke drives a Camaro. Yeah, right. That's hilarious.
I was like, that one's good.
Yeah, that's funny. I had it chipped everything. So anyway, this thing was super fast. Loved the thing. I had it tricked out. I put on, aftermarket ground effects. You had a whale tail actually back in the day. That was kind of funny for a Camaro, but it had a huge whale tail on it.
It looked really nice.
Had a huge cowl induction hood, aftermarket everything. It had custom interior painting. The interior was painted white. It had black leather interior with custom white interior painting. It was white with black. It had chrome rims. The thing was show quality. In fact, I actually won a bunch of car shows. I have car show awards. I even have a jacket upstairs we just found. The jacket was the jacket I won for being first place.
Which jacket is that?
Car show. The gray jacket. I'll show you. It's upstairs in one of the boxes that I still need to unpack.
It's like a bomber jacket style or something.
It's a gray bomber
I didn't
jacket
realize that's what that was.
Yeah, just for fun car show and everything, and it says first place for. But anyway,
note to self: don't get rid of it unless I want to die.
Yes. Yeah, I was just showing Annabelle. I was like, please don't let Mom get rid of this. But anyway, it was a really, 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 really nice Camaro, and I loved it. But started dating Connie, and, we talked about when we started dating, it kind of being a little bit like World War III. And there was a lot of reasons for that. But so the story does involve my faith just a little bit, because obviously I can't detach myself from my faith. It just is what I am. And so some of this story is going to involve a little bit of my faith. So take it with a grain of salt, because it just is who I am and how I have to tell the story because it's part of the story. Okay.
Right.
So just take the story with a grain of salt. So I'm on my back porch and I'm kind of chatting with God. And I'm like, why is it that she doesn't want to commit to me and be my wife? And, audibly in my head, I'm hearing, you're not even committed to her the way you are committed to your car. You're committed to this car, this thing, really well. Like you do all this, you spend all this money, you put all this time in, you do all of this. Yeah. You put all this stuff into this thing, but you don't do the same thing for her. If you really wanted to prioritize her the same way, then I would bless that marriage, but you can't say that you're actually committed to her because your actions don't actually align with what you're saying.
Well, and I had 2 little kids too, so it's like it's a package deal. It's not just me.
And so I was really convicted, like, oh my goodness, like that's true. And so I was like, what am I supposed to do about this? And of course, again, audibly, I heard, you need to put the car out of the garage. I'll sell it for you. And I started arguing, which of course I knew that's not me. That's got to be a higher power because I don't want to sell this car. I love this thing. But he said, put it outside. I'll sell it. And you put your weights. I had an awesome weights set in the garage. And then the spare bedroom you can use for the kiddos because when she was coming over, the 1 and 3-year-old needed somewhere to sleep because, they're little and she's hanging out in the evening, hanging out. And the little kids are like tiny and they need somewhere to crash. So put them in the spare bedroom and put up a bed and actually show in action that you care about these people other than just saying you care about these people. So I was convicted about that and I was like, okay, whatever. So I guess I need to be a man of conviction and actually do what I say I do. So I say I care about them. I say I love them. So I guess I should do an action that says that I actually believe that. So that day, I moved my car out of the garage. I moved my weights into the garage. I put the bedroom up and had a spare bed set up in there and went to bed that evening. And then the next morning, I woke up to a knock. And I was like, what the heck? And I went to the front door. And it was weird. It was like there was this kind of heavier set Hispanic lady at the front door. And I was like, can I help you? And she said, I see your Camaro outside. And I said, and, did somebody do something to my car? And she's like, no, my son has always wanted a car like that. And I've been looking for years and I want to buy it from you. And I was like, what? I haven't even listed this thing. I told anyone I want to get rid of it. I haven't told anyone about this like conversation in my head with God. And she's like, I have cash. Will you sell it to me? And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So I realized that this was meant to be that I sell this car to her. So she literally gave me cash. I wrote a bill of sale and I sold the car the very next day. So that's my story. And you can take it as it was happenstance, chance, just was what it was, or you can take it that it was God. It was however you guys want to interpret that story. But I saw it as the next step, and that it was what it was exactly as I interpreted it. But so anyway, sold it off to her, and then she gave it to her son. They had it for years, and eventually he let his sister drive it. And as I was a cop years later, the very first car crash I ever went on was the car crash that his sister drove it, hit a boulder, and it flew into
like
a building like an arrow. And that very first car I ever went on a car crash on was that Camaro. Literally the very first car crash I ever went on.
I still remember when he called me and he was like at the scene or whatever. He was like, honey, you'll never guess what? My baby was through the top of whatever. It's total. It's destroyed. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, honey.
Yeah. But I was convicted and I realized I had to give it up. And the reason why I had to give it up, because I had to have action that said, like, listen, you said you wanted to be with her and the kids and you want to take care of them. And this is the life you want to choose. And that's going to include not this car. And you got to move forward. You got to be a man of conviction. So these stories always kind of have a moralistic purpose. What is that? Well, like the Tim Tebow thing. Be a man of conviction, whatever that looks like for you. Mm-hmm. You don't have to agree with somebody else's conviction, but if you're being convicted of something, you need to do it. Like, you need to be a man or a woman of conviction for yourself. If you feel like you need to be doing something, you should be doing that something. if you're being convicted to do that. So you
Yeah,
guys
well,
need
like
to move.
something as simple, it's hard to do, but
Do you remember what you did to
using
that car though once? One
yeah.
night?
Hold on, just wait. I was just giving an example of like a character thing that doesn't have anything to do with religion. It could be just something as simple as, using kind words to the people around you, your family, your coworkers or whatever. So, if that's something that you're just like, oh, I need to quit being a jerk.
So funny story about that. So just to finish that off though, the reason why is I waited, over 19 years patiently driving not so good cars, that we own, just to save up money and wait and raise kids and take care of them and selflessly like raise my wife and my kids and take care of them. And we did foster care and we've had 22 total children in our home and we've raised all these different kids.
Own one of those kidnapper vans, the white ones or whatever. And like when I'd back up, I'd be like at Walmart and it would go beep, beep.
Yeah.
It was so embarrassing. Our kids would like crawl down in the seat like, oh my God, people are staring at us.
But during that season, I was called to just take care of things. Well, that season is through, and I finally said, is it time? Can I get a Camaro again? And Connie finally said, yes, it's almost 20 years. It's time. And so I went and got a 50th anniversary Camaro to restore to myself the joy that is cars to myself because I sacrificed for almost 20 years.
Working hard and,
I
that way he can get
died
big
to
piece
self
of
in that situation for 20 years to try and make priorities correct and make the priorities in my life correct for family. And now it's time to have a little bit of fun and you get to enjoy that as well. But funny story, side note, when I had it, she got to drive it a couple of times and I was at a friend's house and we were playing Halo. We were having a Halo contest.
I'm supposed to tell the story.
Yeah. Okay. Tell it.
Okay. And then he can
horrible.
Share his, twist on it or whatever.
Oh man, it was horrible.
So of course, one, I was too scared to drive this car because it was his child, right? So when I finally get brave enough and then I convince him that I'm going to, abide by all of these rules for his car, finally, it took a long time, like months, right? And so I was like, well, hey, me and my best friend that he knew, we were thinking maybe we could take the car to Ray for the day and just a girls thing, whatever. And of course I would drive and there's no way I'd let her drive. He's like, the radio can only go to level 18. You need to make sure that when you park in a parking lot that you're parking in such a way that, nobody's going to open their doors and scratch it. Anyway, all these things, no eating in the car, whatever. And I was like, yep, check. I know exactly what you want me to do. So, we get back or whatever, and he was gaming with his buddies. And I'm like,
having a Halo tournament.
Yeah.
There was like 8 to 12 of us guys in there.
And of course, everybody knows how he is with his car. So, we're like a block away, and I'm telling my girlfriend, I was like, dang, we had so much fun. I'm so excited. We'll have to do that again, right? And then I was like, you know what? I can't wait to tell Will that I made sure to take any dips at all, at an angle and just didn't scratch any of the ground effects. He'd be so proud of how I drove. So
I am a car Nazi, Ray
which
Rock.
is fine. He should be, again, considering how nice his new car is, by the way. He won't even put a sunshade in his car, so you guys need to bug the heck out of him. If you saw how nice this car is, you'd be like, how dare you? Anyway, so we're right in front of the house, and I literally had just said, whatever, I can't believe we didn't scratch it up or do anything. And then I missed this dip that was in front of the house. Took it straight on, and you hear, then the windows of this house where he's playing games open up, and you see all these guys gasping for air, oh my God, did she just scratch his Camaro? And I was like, do you think he heard that? Of course.
Yeah, so all I know is she's gone with my car all day. I don't know anything, good or bad. I don't know if she's doing good with it or bad with it. I'm just trusting. And then all I know is I look out the window, I see it coming down the road, and there's this massive dip in front of his house. And I'm like, oh, she'll slow down and take that at an angle. I know she's pretty good. And they're like, she's not slowing down, dude. And I'm like, and so more of the guys, there's 12 of us playing Halo, and there's more and more and more. Next thing you know, we're all 12 looking out the window. I'm like, no. And she's like, whoop, she smashes into the thing and just hits it, and you can hear the scraping, and then she pulls up next to the house, and I'm just and they're like,
I didn't even want to get out of the car. It was that bad.
They looked all at me. They're all like looking over at me, and they're just like,
lose
oh. And I'm just like, oh, she's never driving that again. I was like, that is never happening. And they were like, I can't even believe that. And I'm like, I can't. I have to go inspect my car, dude. I have to go look.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm pretty sure I left early. I was like, I got to get out.
Yep. And that happened directly in front of everyone, and we could hear it. It was loud. I was like, oh.
Yeah, totally. I should have just like taken the car and like went on a road trip, right? Like that must have been somebody else. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So anyway, bottom line, if you feel convicted, regardless of where that conviction's coming from, if you feel like you should be doing something, you probably should be doing it. Thank you all for spending your afternoon with us. I'm sorry we got delayed a couple of times. Thank you all for being so gracious and having my wife here and being so kind to her. We had a really fun time this afternoon. I'm loving having different people on. Thank you all again for being on. As always, you guys keep your gaming on. Again, Poison Ivy, aka Connie. Thanks for being on.
Someday I'll get videos.
Warrior, we all love having you here and hanging out with us. Warrior, out.